That thing that makes owning a Tesla so great isn't necessarily the car, it's the phone app. If you're new to Tesla, this is where you're going to want to be. This is the Tesla 101 series, where we cover everything you need to know about owning and driving a Tesla. If you're new to the channel, I'm Dan. Welcome back to Northern Tesla. Let's get right into it. One of the most underrated features of owning a Tesla, in my opinion, is definitely the phone app. It does so much, it can make your life so much easier. So we're going to cover the basics of everything it can do and how to make your life even easier. And the app doesn't update as frequently as the car, so this information should be still relevant for a few months at least, I hope. So we're going to cover item by item and work our way from the top and work our way down. So from the top, we have the name of your car. I didn't name my car yet. I can't think of anything. But basically, if you want to name your car will show up there. And then if you click on the little downward triangle, that will open up if you have any other products with Tesla. So that includes any other cars, or as well as if you have a home charger, like a wall connector, as well as solar products. Basically anything Tesla related will show up in that menu. So this app is not only for cars, but for everything. From then below that, you have your current car status of charge. So that is either in percentage or kilometers or miles, depending on what you have in your settings in the car. Staying on the top, to the right, top right corner, you'll see like a little box with the 3 dots. That is for any messages. So once in a while, Tesla sends like information messages, like tips for winter driving, how to subscribe, increase privacy and comfort, any sort of updates they do, you'll see a message like this. And if you have any sort of service request, the service tech will message you through here. And beside that is the menu icon. So if you click that, you will get access to your Tesla app, as well as your charging information. So if you need to add a payment, you do it here. You can manage your payments. You can also check your history of your charging, as well as if you have other EVs that aren't Teslas, they will also show up here. Below that, you have my products. So again, like same kind of aspect of in that first screen with the menu drop down, you now have all your products showing up here. And this is where you can also add products. So if you buy a new car, if you add solar panels or a new wall connector, you can do that here. Below that is the referral program. So every owner of a Tesla, you can refer friends and you can get actual credits and points. Now, the point system changes frequently. Right now, I believe it is, you can earn up to this is Canada, so $325 for each new owner you refer to Tesla, which you can use for service, for buying parts, for buying accessories, anything you want. And I believe right now the person who buys the product will get 3 months of free FSD. And I'm really not going to go over it too much because it changes so often. So below the referral section, you have your shop. So you don't have to go to the actual Tesla website. You can go straight from your app and buy stuff that you need, such as car accessories and products, all kinds of things. You can also discover products. If you don't have a Tesla, which I don't know why you wouldn't have a Tesla, but if you have another product, this is how you can charge other EVs. And a new feature that just got added is in the top right corner, you'll see a little message icon again, but it has the little star icon. That is the new Tesla AI chat. So you can ask any sort of question and the AI chatbot will kind of answer your questions if it can. And if it doesn't answer your questions, come back here in Northern Tesla because I'll teach you everything you need to know. All right, I just want to take a second and let you guys know that this video is sponsored by MagBack. Obviously, we're talking about the phone today. And if you're new to Tesla, you'll quickly realize that the Tesla wireless pad isn't the greatest. So you're going to want to get yourself a phone mount so you have a good view of your phone and it will charge properly. Thankfully, MagBack have the perfect solution for you. They have the Tesla phone mount, which sticks right next to your Tesla screen. It really looks like an extension of your screen rather than your typical aftermarket phone mount. And the best part is that it gives you the perfect viewing angle and charges your phone through MagSafe technology. They have a version for every Tesla model, including Cybertruck, as well as the new Model 3 and Ys with the new 16-inch screens. So be sure to check you're getting the right version when you're checking out. All right, so head over to magback.com and use promo code NortonTesla15 for 50% off your order. All right, back to the video. Okay, so coming back out to the regular menu, you now have a graphic representation of your car. Whether it's parked, whether it's charging, whether it's driving, what the car is doing is what you're going to see in the app right here. Now below your car, you'll see what they call quick functions. Basically, any function you want to access pretty frequently are right there. So right now I have open my front, lock your door, turn on climate, and flash your lights. But the best part is that you can customize these. So all you have to do is long press on one and it'll bring up the customize control function. Now you'll see my top 4 at the top. And then all the other ones available to me are below that. Now you have options such as activate biodefense mode if you have a Model Y, close your charge port, honk your horn, schedule a light show, enter low power mode, defrost your car, fart, start button, which I'll get more into that later, as well as turn on and off sentry, activate summon, open your trunk, unlatch your door, and vent your windows. Obviously, you can rotate these throughout whenever you want. Like for defrost your car, I would have that in the winter. I don't need it now, so I took it off. Now something else like unlatch your door, you would really never need that unless your doors are frozen, which happens pretty infrequently, especially if you live in California. And you're not going to see this button anywhere else in your phone app. But the good news is that you can still use it from here without putting it into your top shelf functions. You can just hit the button from here and it'll work. Now, a little tip for you is right now you're seeing 4 icons at the top, but there is a way to get a 5th. Now, when you replace icons, all you have to do is long press. But if you put your finger to the left of one of these icons and drag up, you'll see the little box highlighted. That would be the one I'm replacing. But if you go to the right a little bit, and that will be your 5th icon. And for some reason, if you get tired of 5, you can just drop it back down. So that is the customized quick control function. So below the quick controls, you'll have your car's current status. If it's charging, it'll show up here. Now, right now, my car is plugged in, but not charging. So you can also change what you want your car to charge at. So whether you're 80, 90, 100, you can also go down all the way to 50. You can change also your current amperage. So right now it's set to 39. You can go up to 40 if you want. And then because my car is plugged in, I have the option to start charging as well as unlock the charge port. Now, if your car is not plugged in, you won't have these options. And if your car is currently driving, you'll have access to your music controls, which is pretty cool. So below that is access to your live camera. You have to have Sentry enabled for this function to show up here. You also have to enable phone access from inside the car. Sometimes it takes a minute. So there you go. So you have access to your entire camera system. You can do a grid like so. You can also go from one camera to the next, like so. Go on the other side and also check the rear as well as the cabin. And I'll tell you also what the temperature of your cabin is. So all really cool stuff. And from here, you can also honk your horn, flash your lights. There it goes. Fart. And you can also talk to your car as well. So if there's someone that's nearby your car and you want to freak them out a little bit to get away from your car, you can tap the microphone icon and you can actually talk through the speaker of your car. And it'll actually do it in a really menacing voice, like you're about to murder them. So it's good. So from here, you have the red dot on the top right. If you click that, you'll get to your security and driver section, but we'll get into that in a second. All right, moving down, you have controls. So kind of like quick controls, these are just like the regular controls of your car. So in the top right corner, you'll have your PSI for, you can toggle that on and off. It'll show you the PSI for each one of your tires. From there, you can open or close your front and trunk and lock your car as well. You also have access to the charge port, whether you want to open it or close it. And then you have functions on the bottom, such as flash your lights, honk your horn, start your car, as well as vent your windows, which will go down about 2 inches, all the windows, so you get a bit of fresh air before you go into the car. Now, I just want to talk quickly about the start function because a lot of people are confused with it. Now, what it essentially does is from the time you hit this button, it'll give 2 minutes to someone to basically go in your car and drive it. Now, think of a situation where you have a mechanic. The car is parked in the parking lot and they don't have a key card. What you do is you start your car, they'll be able to go to the parking lot, get the car, drive it into the shop, and be able to work on it from there. So basically, it's in lieu of giving your key card to someone. So there's a few different situations where you might need that. All right, going back out of controls, we now have climate down there. So this is a really cool function. I love this function. So basically, it'll tell you the current temperature of your car. So if you go into the menu, you can turn on your steering wheel heat as well as your seat heaters or cooling, depending on what car you have. And from there, you have access to, if you bring up the little menu down here, you have tons of features available to you. So you can turn on or off the climate. You can toggle the temperature. You can vent your windows. You can defrost your car. You can activate biodefense weapon mode if you have a Model Y. You also can enable camp mode, dog mode. Then you have cabin overheat protection, which in the car it gets too hot, you can either activate the climate or just the fan to make sure the car doesn't get overheated. And then you can also set the temperature of when you want that to activate. So up in the top, you see I have 9 a.m. on a Monday. Basically, that is for scheduling your climate, and I'll get into that in a second. So moving down the menu, we now have location. So if we click on that, you'll have a map of where your car currently is. Up top, it'll tell you the approximate address of where it is. In the top right, you'll have a little arrow icon, and that will give you directions on how to get back to your car, as well as a little arrow icon will kind of center the map to your car. And then you can toggle between satellite view and regular view. And then the little charging icon will tell you all the nearby chargers. Now, if we toggle up, we can actually enter a destination, and it'll tell you how long it's going to take to get there, as well as if any charging is needed. It will also tell you your most recent trips, as well as charging options nearby. And you can filter the charging by speed and location, and it'll tell you all the superchargers that are in the area. Now, another quick note of the location feature is to the left of the actual location word, you'll see an arrow. And if you're near your car, it'll actually point in the direction of your car, which is pretty cool. Now, the next feature is one that I like, but a lot of people don't. It is summon. This will allow you to summon your car from the parking lot right to the front of the store. Now, a lot of people aren't a fan of this because it doesn't really work that well. I use it pretty frequently. For the most part, it works really well. And you do need full self-driving for this to function. So below summon, we have charging. So kind of like the same thing to what the car is currently showing in the main menu. You have your charging status as well as what to set the rate of charge. And you can start charging, unlock charge port, same as what's in the main menu. You can also add a payment. I clearly have to do that. You can also find chargers. You can check your charge stats. So that is basically your lifetime stats. So I can see here that in the last 31 days, I've charged 699 kilowatt hours and I've only spent $96. That's a lot. But mind you, I went on a few trips, and that's 19% supercharging. So you can also go into it and set your charging costs. So you can set your hydro so you get really detailed, accurate information as to exactly how much you're spending on charging. And then you can also go by year. So I've only spent $454 in charging this year. And if I was driving a gas car right now, I would spend that in a month. And we'll also compare your electricity cost to what it potentially would be driving a gas car. And you can also schedule charging, but we'll get into that more in the schedule section. And then you can also enter low power mode from here and keep accessory power on. So all your USBs in the car, if you have something plugged in, if you leave your car, it'll stop charging. Unless you hit this button, then if you have something plugged in, even when you leave the car, it'll keep charging that accessory, which is sometimes useful. And then from there, you'll have details of your last charge. All right, going back to the main menu, this is the schedule section, which is kind of complicated, so buckle up. So if we go to schedules, you'll see at the top, very important, there's a location. Right now it's set to home. So you can set schedules based on location. So be mindful of that. So they've kind of revamped this in terms of how it functions. It's kind of more like setting an alarm on your phone where you have a bunch of different alarms options and you can toggle them on or off. So right now you can see here, I have Monday to Friday. My car will precondition, meaning it'll warm up by 8 a.m. every day, and it'll repeat weekly. So that's my schedule. So let's say I have a different schedule on the weekend. All I have to do is hit the plus icon. Let's say I'll add Saturday and Sunday and change that to 10 a.m. and create. Now I have two schedules to choose from. And moving down for charging, same kind of situation where you can add different schedules. Right now I have it set to every single day of the week. My car will start charging at 11 p.m. and finish charging by 7 a.m. This is important if you have the type of utilities where it's cheaper to charge at night for electricity rates. And then you can add different schedules for your needs. And then you can also schedule a light show, which is pretty cool as well. So going back out of the schedules, we then have security and drivers. So that is when I talked about earlier about the sentry mode settings. So dash cam viewer is any sort of clips that are already on your dash cam saved on your USB drive. You can access them here. So we have access to Sentry as well as dash cam. Sentry, of course, is the security system, while dash cam is what you use while driving. From there, you can toggle Sentry mode on or off. You can also have access to valet mode, parental controls. Basically, it's going to put limiters on the car depending on who's driving it, as well as the speed limit mode and pin to drive, which is essential if you don't want your car stolen. You can toggle this here as well as in the car. Essentially, you will need a pin to put the car into drive, which is useful because no one's going to be able to steal your car without your pin. It is kind of annoying though, because then literally every time you put the car in drive, you have to put in your pin. So from there, we have add a driver. So you can actually give someone access to your car just by sharing your app. So all they have to do is download the Tesla app. They'll get the invitation, they can download it from there, and then they'll have access to your car just like you would on your phone app. So if you don't want to give them their key, you can just give them that, and then you can take it away whenever you want. From there, you can turn on or off your phone key, which is this. And then you have some phone key best practices. So moving below that, you have upgrades where anything you can upgrade your car with. So at the top, we have software upgrades. So if you want to subscribe to FSD, which I already have, this would show up here. You'd have the option to subscribing. Going back out, you have a service plans that Tesla offers. We have the high voltage battery extended service agreement, as well as the extended service agreement. So stuff you can add to your car. You have accessories, installable upgrades. So anything you want to add to your car, do it here. So right at the bottom, you have manage. So if you have any existing subscriptions, such as premium connectivity, it will show up here. So right now I'm good till April 25, 2026, and any inactive ones will show up there as well. All right, the next feature is one that is really cool, but you're probably not going to use this, and that's a good thing. It is service. If you don't already know, Teslas require very little maintenance, but this is a really good feature the way they've done it. So if we go into service, basically at the top, you'll see a question. You can ask whatever question you want. You'll see that little star icon, which is significant to the AI capabilities. So you're basically asking the AI to help you out through the service kind of area. You'll see I have a red dot, which means I need to rotate my tires, and it'll tell you when it was last done and when it's expected to be done. It'll also tell you when you need to replace your wiper blades and cabin air filters. And then you'll see a few other services that are periodically required. And then you can actually just schedule right from here. Now, if you back out of there, you'll then see a whole bunch of different areas of the car. That's basically you're going to select what's wrong with your car. So let's go first and say interior. Let's say we have a window function problem. You'll then add a concern. You'll write down what's wrong with it. You can add pictures or videos if you want. Let's go back again, just to show you another example. If we go to like exterior, you can then have a whole view of the car. So let's say there's a dent in our car. So we're going to do door panel here, done. We're going to say door body next, and then it's going to say dented next. So anything wrong with your car, you're going to go through this menu, and it's really intuitive in terms of finding out exactly what's wrong with your car. And from there, you'll send the service request to Tesla. Tesla will then review it and get back to you through that messaging app that we talked about earlier. Sometimes they'll even say you don't need service and give you alternative options, or they'll be able to give you a service appointment. And once the service appointment is set, everything is tracked through the app. Everything from approving estimates to timelines to when your car is going to be ready and even paying for the car. Everything is done through the app. It's really seamless. So from there, we have roadside. So if you have any sort of issues roadside, go through this. It'll tell you how to fix it, or you need a tow truck. So dash cam viewer, we've already seen. Finally, we have photo booth, where new feature in the Tesla, you can take pictures from the interior of the cabin, add fun stickers and stuff like that, cool graphics. You can access your pictures here. Anyways, that is the Tesla phone app. I hope it's a lot easier for you guys to navigate. And a huge thank you to MagBack for sponsoring this video. Like I said, the Tesla wireless pad isn't the greatest, and you're going to want a phone mount that you can actually see and charge your phone fast. So head over to magback.com and use promo code NorthernTesla15 for 15% off. If you're new to Tesla, be sure to watch the rest of my Tesla 101 series. You'll be a Tesla Pro in no time. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss videos, which I release about every week or so. Tons of awesome Tesla content. You don't want to miss it. And be sure to follow me on all my socials down here. Anyways, thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, drive safe and drive electric.